So we're gonna get right into it because there was this woman who was stolen as a child that has just been reunited with her family.
Isn't that just called kidnapped?
Yeah.
Stolen.
Woman stolen.
Redo the title. There was a woman who was kidnapped as
I understand
child
now. Yeah, makes sense.
and has been reunited with her family after 53 years.
Whoa.
Dude, that's a long time.
53. That's ridiculous, right? So Susan Gervais, I think that's how you pronounce it.
Don't people forget by then though?
Yeah, does it really matter?
Like imagine like your most favorite dog, right? And then you lost them. Like fucking like when you're 7. At 60, they're like, we found them. You're like, I don't really give a fuck.
Bart, you didn't give birth to your dog.
I know, but I'm just saying, I'm just trying to relate to something. When you find something.
And plus a dog that's actually 53 years old, like human years? Holy shit.
What if it was like a beloved cousin or something?
Special dog.
Like a beloved nephew.
I don't know, it's not close enough.
All right, how about Taika?
Okay. Taika.
Gets kidnapped, not stolen.
He's 1 or 2, or after.
She was kidnapped when she was 4.
No, that's
Four.
different.
She was 4.
Taika's 4, he gets kidnapped.
Suddenly Bart's like, damn, this is crazy.
This changes everything.
Why did you say so?
Okay, so the half-life of feelings is 4, and then after 4 more years, you're like, I only care about him half the amount, and then another 4 years, another half the amount. By the time it's 12 years in, you're like, who's Taika? Oh, I kind of remember here and there, but another 16, 20, I don't know, 52 is a long time.
Yeah.
What do you
So
think?
you think, on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being like, oh, I'm gonna miss this kid so much.
Yeah.
I can't wait. And then to 1, like, where would you rank that? when you
I don't
see
know, because I'm
53
thinking
years later?
about, if you do the math, right?
Yeah.
53 years, if I lost Taika when he's 54, Taika's 57. You know how ugly he's gonna be?
Yeah.
So I see Taika at 57.
Yeah.
How old am I? Fucking like 90, 100?
If you do the math, yeah.
90, 100.
So, like a 2 out of 10 is how excited
90,
you
100 with the 57-year-old man. It's like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, remember when we used to do this? I'm fucking shaking the shit out of him.
What if you're young too? What if you're like only like 50 and he's also 50?
What?
Whoa.
Just as a thing.
He got kidnapped by a fucking wormhole.
I just want you to have good memories.
So
Time cop took
so in
him.
a different dimension.
He got arrested by Time Cop. That's what happened.
Time cop.
My son's older than me?
By time cop.
Yeah, dude, that's what happened.
That's why we have Jason Cheny here, to ask the questions that people need answers to.
He got stuck in a quantum leap.
And didn't leap.
Yeah.
That would be it.
So Susan Gervais disappeared in 1969 after a family offered to take her to Disney World in Florida, but never brought her back. Just 4 years old at the time, Susan says she was snatched and taken around the world to Canada, New Zealand, and Australia by her new mom and dad.
Oh my god.
Speaking about her life, Susan, now a grandmother, said, as a child, I lived with my 6 siblings in an old vicarage on a traveler's site. We weren't travelers. My mom was on her own, and we were all in and out of foster care. I was befriended by a couple on the site who were from Scotland. The woman, who I call my mom now, had MS and had 2 sons. I think they wanted a girl. They asked my mom if they could take me to Disney World, and she gave them my birth certificate so I could be put on their passport.
Whoa.
What the fuck? That was an inside job?
Yeah, instead they took me to Canada, then Australia, and later New Zealand. This was always their plan. The couple told Susan and others that she had been put up for adoption and that they had taken her in. But while she never realized what was going on at the time, Susan says she had a great life. I lived with the traveling community and lived a cherished life where I was spoiled rotten.
Wow, that's fucking crazy.
That's crazy.
That's like the best case scenario for a kid.
Yeah, seriously.
She said, my mom died from MS when I was 10, but even then, being raised in the hub of a traveling community, I was very loved. I have always been happy growing up. I traveled the world. Back home, however, her biological family feared they would never see her again, with her mother searching desperately for her.
Wait, didn't the mom sell her off?
No. So the biological mom, who was taking care of 6 children, didn't have a husband or anything like that to help out. In that little community, one of the other parents, or mom and dad, they had 2 brothers and wanted a daughter. They told her that they were gonna take this biological mom's daughter to Disney World and then never brought her back.
Oh.
And they basically conned her into also receiving the birth certificate for like passport information or whatever, but really just kidnapped the daughter. But they kidnapped the daughter not because it was one of our regular JK stories where it's like, let's kidnap somebody and sell them into like sex slavery or some shit. This was
Yeah, no, I'm really proud of you,
Those are really
Anthony.
Joe
These
stories.
are better.
if you guys could stop fucking with my dignity and integrity on the show, that'd be great.
I just thought I was proud of you.
She had 2 sons, but apparently always wanted a daughter, and she had MS, which is what is multiple sclerosis.
Yeah.
Right. So she was already in her life knowing that everything was degenerating, and so I guess in what is assumed kind of like a plea of life, she did kidnap this girl in order to fulfill one last thing, but did it with some sort of integrity and wanted to actually treat her like a good daughter and stuff and show her the world.
She kind of like arguably rescued her then, in a way.
Yeah.
Just
Arguably.
illegally.
Yeah, very illegally.
Yeah, so back home, like we said, the biological family was definitely still tragically fearing that they would never see their actual daughter and searching for her.
So they actually reported it and had like a thing.
But apparently police never got involved. It's thought because Susan had been in and out of foster care and her mother had allowed her to go on holiday with the couple. So it was already kind of like a problem family that was probably already on the radar of like, social services or whatever like that. But it was only when Susan came to upgrade her passport that she became suspicious, as she couldn't see any record of her adoption. So that's when her husband then put out an appeal on an Australian Facebook page, and she was reunited with 4 of her 6 siblings back in West Yorkshire. The couple flew over to the UK recently to finally meet up with them after all these years and had a party to celebrate Susan's now 57th birthday. And Susan said, the enormity of what happened to me didn't hit me. I just carried on with my life. It was only when somebody who was adopted asked me what my family back in the UK would be feeling, and that was a light bulb moment for me. When I spoke to my family, they were crying hysterically because I was alive. But sadly, Susan's biological mom died 8 years ago and never knew where she had gone or that she had been found.
Whoa.
Hey, that's still a pretty long life for her having MS and stuff. That's pretty good.
No, the biological mom didn't have MS.
Oh.
The mom that kidnapped her had MS and wanted to like have a daughter before like her life was over, so they stole this daughter. And then 6 years later, that mom died.
Did all his original siblings survive to meet her again?
So I think she met 4 of the 6. And it says luckily, however, her sister, who is ill currently, got to see her before her condition deteriorates. So like they're all old as fuck, and they're all definitely like right at the edge, kicking the can.
She just traveled with the dad in the traveling community. So
with the mom as well for 6 years. Yeah, and then after
that.
her mom died of MS, she just kept on going with that community. But to her knowledge, she was already put up for adoption. She doesn't know anything about her biological parents getting swindled in a sense, you know what I mean? In her mind, at 4, she was put up for adoption, and now her new mom and dad are her real loving parents that like legitimately are taking care of her, and that's all she knows.
So she never had that perception,
Yeah.
like
So if you're
that
gonna-
awareness.
If you want a kid that you want to kidnap, you gotta do it when they're real young.
Whoa, jeez.
You're gonna give them a good life, though. If you're gonna give them a good life.
That's a good quick tip for the kidnappers out there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to.
Bart, for supporting me.
You don't want to get at Bart's level, right? Where they're like cognizant enough to like fall in love with their parents as well,
Dude.
right? You gotta give them.
Because there's some way crazier stories. There's this documentary on Netflix called Abducted in Plain Sight. You ever heard that one?
No.
That one's fucked up.
Tell us about it.
Well,
Sounds juicy.
Cliff Notes, this guy kidnapped this daughter in like Utah like 4 or 5 different times.
The same girl?
Yeah, the same girl. And the parents kept like, because he kept like infiltrating their family.
What
And
the
he had sex with the mom.
What?
Yeah, he messed around with the dad too. Like he coerced them into doing all this.
These are good cliff notes.
And he kept fucking kidnapping the daughter.
This guy's really
And now
infiltrating.
this show's on Hulu. They have a live action show on Hulu for this.
That's crazy.
That's
What the fuck?
This is a great story compared to that one.
This family's fucking defense sucks ass.
Yeah.
For the mom to have sex all the time, the dad can get to do whatever he wants, and he keeps
Yeah.
stealing the daughter away.
Bro,
That's not Phil
he,
Jackson.
he
defense,
stole
man.
he kidnapped the daughter and raped her when she was like 13.
Jeez, we have
Right?
a whistle for that word.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. And then ends up hooking up with mom later down the line and then convinces the dad to jerk him off in the car.
What?
And this is true because the dad is he's telling the story.
The dad's the one that
He's
tells
like,
the
yo,
story?
we were looking at records. We pull over. We're looking over a cliff somewhere, and the kidnapper, the molester. I didn't mean to point at you, but that's what he goes. Yeah, I've just been having a hard time with, insert wife's name, Barbara or something. Having a hard time. We haven't really been intimate. He's like, I just need some release. And the dad is explaining this story from his point of view. And he goes, okay. So he fucking jays him off in the front seat.
It's so sad, like the amount of chaos that you could create, the combination of a nefarious individual and a low IQ family.
Yeah.
Like you can wreak total havoc.
Yeah, it's fucked up. It's real fucked up.
Fuck.
I feel like one of those events would trip me out really bad. Like my world would be in shambles if I let some stranger jerk me off. I'll be like, I'll be like tripping.
He's a friend.
And
Though.
you're,
then that's
you're
fine.
overlooking a cliff, so there's a moment.
There's a moment.
He took him to a view. He took him to make out point and was like, yo,
Make out point.
we had a great day.
And then right when you bust is when the sun just peaks right over the hills and it's like a sunrise.
Oh my god, that is beautiful.
That was ideal.